Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Um, there's some information I wanted to bring to you guys. Most of you have probably heard the story of the young African American male who was shot in a bathroom at a high school in East Knoxville, Tennessee, Austin East Magnet School. It's a prevalent school known for a population of African American students, also other nationalities attend the school, but it is mainly black people attend the school, black children attend the school. East side of Knoxville has mixed race on that side of town, but inside of this bathroom, an altercation took place with some officers and a young man. He was killed in that bathroom. Another officer was shot in that bathroom. The other officer survived with an injury to the leg, but the young man did not survive. Um, just a very crazy, crazy story. Um, a protest took place yesterday afternoon at Sharm Allen, the district attorney for Knoxville, Tennessee. But the KPD is saying that that was not her house. So I don't know if that's true or not. Perhaps they just said that because they don't want people to know that she actually lives at this said house in Hardin Valley area. Hardin Valley is a very nice, affluent area in Knox County. They said that that was the sheriff's jurisdiction, Knox County Sheriff's jurisdiction. So they're the ones who stood by for this protest with the assistance from Knoxville Police Department. The group that assembled is a black organization called Black Coffee Justice. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to WVLT Channel 8 News, local Knoxville station. They're the ones who reported this story. This organization is calling for the arrest of the cops that were in that bathroom and the cop who shot the black teen in that said bathroom. Now, I don't know how many of you have followed the story because it had been retracted, the first version pertaining to what happened in that restroom. But it has been said that the child was on the school grounds with a gun. It has been said that he had an altercation with a young lady that he was dating. She left the school upset of what happened between she and he. She went home, told her mother. Her mother, in turn, sent text messages to the young man. It went on for about an hour. I believe it was a volatile text. Then she contacted the school. Well, contacted the police. Police was sent to the school. Now, did she talk to the school? I don't know. But nonetheless, she called the police to let them know that he had assaulted her daughter. It is alleged that this young man, who is now deceased, scratched her daughter's face and yanked out her hair. Now, the woman has regrets in calling the police because now the young teen is dead. Naturally, she would not have known what was going to take place in that said schoolhouse. My question is, why was he even there with a gun? And now there's an uproar in my city pertaining to this issue of this child being murdered in the school bathroom at Austin East Magnet High School. And Mr. Crump, Ben Crump, is now representing the Thompson family. And most of you know that he has represented the Floyd family and the Wright family, the young man who was just killed outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, a week or so ago. So Mr. Crump is a very busy man. This case is not nowhere in comparison to George Floyd, by no means. This young man went to the schoolhouse with a gun. Why he went to the school with this gun, I do not know. Was he going to harm somebody in the school with that gun? I do not know. Is he known for carrying a gun? I do not know. Has he been in trouble with the law before? I do not know. But it does not look good in his favor. There has been protests, rallies in Knoxville past couple of days pertaining to this said subject. Um, you're entitled to think as you will of the said information. There's a video on YouTube showing the altercation in the restroom. I want to thank Miss Dee Dee for showing me this video telling me where to find it. One of the fans told me the other night, and you can go to YouTube to find the altercation and view it for yourself and come to your own conclusion. In the end, to me, it doesn't matter uh, what happened in the restroom, only because he had a gun. The gun obviously went off when the officers were trying to manhandle him to come out of the stall. You can see he's raising his arm up, and obviously the gun was on his persons and it went off. Did he pull the trigger? I do not know. Did he just go off because of them manhandling him? I do not know. My thing is he had no business on the campus with the gun. And I fault the school for not having appropriate protocol, security protocol for people, children, whomever, to bring in weapons. That's first and foremost. They have an obligation and a duty to serve the children and the staff of the school and also visitors of the school. So they failed in that capacity. But as far as the family suing, whom are you going to sue? The police department? Because the child went into the schoolhouse with a gun. He also assaulted a young on the campus. So who are the witnesses to that crime of the child being assaulted, the girl child? Why was he running around? You see that on the camera. When you go and watch the video, he was running, sitting in the stairwell, looking like he was on a phone. So there's a lot to this story. But nonetheless, nothing can excuse the fact that he was on this campus with a gun. So my thing is, you go carrying a gun around wherever you are, you're actually looking for trouble. That's just a spoken word. You have no reason to be carrying a gun as a child anywhere. I don't care if it's outside, your house, wherever. You're a child. He had no business having a gun, and it was just an accident waiting to happen. And like I said, I don't even know his motive for carrying the gun, if he was actually going to the school to do something to someone. But I find it odd that he ended up having an altercation with the girlfriend at the school. So who in God knows who knows why he had that gun at the school? But he shouldn't have never had it. So I blame the child for having the gun, the parents as well. You don't know your child's carrying a gun. Also, the school, you're at fault because you should have had appropriate security measures. This is just a jacked up story. Now Mr. Ben Crump is representing the family. Now we have this Black Coffee Justice Group protesting outside of a home in Hardin Valley, out in the county, Knox County. They believe that this is the district attorney's home, calling for justice and the arrest of the said officers that were in the restroom. But the KPD says that it's not Sharm Allen's home, the district attorney. So if that's true, I do not know. As I say, they're not going to verify if that's her house or not anyway. Why would they want to do that? My second part of my video is also Court TV. You can go to YouTube and see the said video that was released the other day. Court TV has released commentary pertaining to the other 3 officers that were involved in the death of George Floyd, alongside Derek Chauvin. As you know, 3 other officers, ex-officers of the Minneapolis Police Department, have been brought up on charges of aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the death murder of George Floyd. Most of you know that Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 counts and will be receiving a sentence in the next 8 weeks or so. Court TV released a video basically talking about, should, I guess, these people be not arrested, but found guilty. Are they guilty? I didn't open up the video, but I did. I'll post it to my community page. You need verification, or you can go into YouTube and find the said information if you like. Tell me what you think. Do you think they are guilty as well, the other 3 ex-officers, in aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd? Or do you think they were following the leader? They were just doing as they were told, or they didn't want to ruffle his feathers, or they were afraid to speak up? Please give me your opinion. Also, give me your opinion on this situation with the child being shot in the restroom, and the fact that now a Black organization has rallied to go to the said house of the district attorneys and protest for the arrest of all officers that were in the said bathroom. Hello, Night Owl. Where you been? Mercy. Got 20 viewing. Thanks for joining me. One second, you guys. Put up the link. I'm posting the links. Excuse me. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Chris, how you doing? Hope everybody can hear me. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the shooting in the restroom at Austin East Magna High School of Mr. Thompson. He is now a decedent. He's accused of physically assaulting his girlfriend on that fateful day. She left the school early, went home, told her mother about what happened. The mother then called the police. The police went to the school looking for him. You will see in video on YouTube pertaining to the search of him in the high school, people pointing to where he could be found. Officers found him in a restroom. And on that sad afternoon, officers approached Mr. Thompson in the bathroom. One thing led to another. A gun went off. An officer shot him dead. And also another officer was shot. I believe that same officer who shot the young man also shot the other officer, the school resource officer. And you will see that he was drug out of the bathroom in that said video. It's a really sad situation because, as I state, the young man had no business being on that property with that gun. It doesn't matter what his reasons were at that time. It was wrong to be there. And I feel like if he hadn't had the gun, this incident would have never taken place. And you know how children play around, they roughhouse, boys roughhouse. Somebody could have jumped on them playing around. The gun could have went off, could have gotten a tussle with another male student. It could have gone 1,000 different ways. Some other people could have been injured. And when you watch the said video, there was also another boy in the stall in the restroom. And I blame the officers as far as not checking the restroom, because something could have happened to that other kid that was in the restroom. You know, if a shootout had ensued, you're supposed to walk in, check all the stalls before getting your suspect out. You're supposed to open up every stall and make sure there are no other parties in the restroom. So see, they didn't even follow protocol with that. Then the schools that fought for allowing this kid to be on the campus with a gun. Then who was watching him beat up the girl at the school or assault her at the school? Did anyone else go to the office and say, hey, I witnessed him hit the girl? I wonder about that. Did the mother also call the school, or did she just call the police? It is said that she also tried to reach out to his mother by phone, but got no answer. It's also said that she texted the young man back and forth for an hour pertaining to the altercation between he and her daughter. What did he say to her? What did she say to him? Did she threaten him? Did she tell him she was going to call the police? And why did he stay on the campus? Because I'm sure that woman said a lot of things to him in that text. So why did he still continue to stay on school grounds knowing this lady now knows he harmed her daughter? I can't understand any of this crazy situation pertaining to this shooting. Because I don't understand how he got on the campus with the gun. I don't understand why he took a gun. I don't understand why he put his hands on that girl. I also understand why he stayed on the campus after the mother contacted him via text, knowing that he assaulted her child. And by right, she had every right to call the police because that is her child. But she does have regrets now. And I brought you commentary about that the other night. that she regrets ever calling the police because she had no idea it was going to lead to him being shot dead inside that school bathroom. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Connor. How are you? Hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to the shooting at Austin East Magna High School. This Black Coffee Justice Group rallied outside of a home believed to be the district attorney's office. District attorney's home, Sharm Allen, but the KPD is saying that was not the district attorney's house. We can ponder and say they probably said that because they don't want people to know that is actually her home, naturally. So she won't have any more cuckoo birds showing up at her house, rallying or stalking her or bringing harm to her home. So naturally, I can see them saying that it's not her home. This group is wanting the arrest of the officers that shot Mr. Thompson in that bathroom and all the other officers involved. And that is the said commentary. And do you believe the other ex-officers who aided and abetted Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd, murder of George Floyd, do you believe that they will be found guilty? Or do you even think that they are guilty? Court TV has released a video. It is currently on YouTube. And that is my said commentary for this evening. This is a two-part video. Please hit the link if you want to give your commentary on both subject matters. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129. And all super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you. Thank you for the two mods on board. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary. A lot of deaths lately pertaining to African Americans in this country. And it's just sad it has come down to all these people having altercations with law enforcement as of late. And no matter what you think, who's right or wrong, it's still sad. My thing is, I tell everyone, no matter what your race is, please follow the instructions from the law enforcement, sheriff's department, DEA, FBI, whomever, Secret Service, whomever comes across your path that they ask you to do something, please follow the instructions. Do not speak to them. If they tell you to be quiet, be quiet. If they ask you to put your hands to your side, put your hands to the side. If they ask you to put your hands up, put your hands up. They tell you to take your hands out your pockets. Please take your hands out your pocket. Just do as you're told so you can see tomorrow. Because death is surely not worth, it's just not worth it. Yes, thank you all. Not us says they're guilty. Okay. Her daughter came home. Chris, the daughter came home. She left school early because of the altercation with the boy, and then she went home and told her mother. So I have many questions pertaining to what actually took place from the moment the child got home. Did the mother call the school directly to ask what happened? I don't know. I just know she called the police. I do know she called the boy's mother, but got no response. And she also contacted the boy via phone, via text. She said it went on for about an hour, them texting, volatile text back and forth. So he knew something went on. He knew that she knew, let's say. So my thing is, why did he even stay on the campus knowing he had a gun? That's baffling to me. Because one, you took the gun to the school for whatever reason. But after you jumped on this girl, she leaves the school, goes home, tells her mother, the mother calls the police. The mother has texted you, letting you know she knows about what you did to her daughter. You would foolishly stay on the campus with the gun? That's just crazy to me. And even if he didn't have a gun, I can't see you hanging around the school, knowing she's possibly going to call the police. See, we don't even know the conversation of the text. I don't know if she even told him that she called the police. That has not been revealed yet. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for the 35 viewing. I appreciate it. But this was my commentary. I wanted to knock out the stories, notifications I got pertaining to this Black Coffee Justice group. I don't know if it's a Facebook group, but they posted to Facebook that they were going over to starting from a church. It was a Mount Zion Baptist church. I'm assuming this is a Knoxville church, and they went over to whom they thought was Miss Sharm's home, district attorney's home, to protest for the arrest of the officers. They killed the boy in the bathroom, Austin East Magnet School. If you want to view the video of the altercation, it's currently on YouTube, so you can log on out of here if you like to view the video and come back in to give your commentary pertaining to the said information in the video. And also, do you believe the other 3 ex-officers are guilty of aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder death of George Floyd? Or do you not believe they aided? Because I read the description of the charge, and it is said that for that charge of aiding and abetting, that the participants had to willingly know the person was going to harm someone, murder someone. But my thing is this: they may not have walked up on the scene and said to themselves, hey, I think he's going to kill this guy, or I think he's going to harm this guy. But at the point of when the man was to the ground, Mr. Floyd, you should have used common sense to say, okay, this is probably not a good idea. This isn't appropriate protocol. The man should be inside of the vehicle. And hey, you've been on his neck long enough. Bottom line, you did nothing. You didn't aid, help. You didn't stop Chauvin. You didn't tell Chauvin he needs to get up. You did nothing. So whether you thought he was going to murder the man when you first walked up to the scene, you went along with the program. So it's really no different than going to someone's house. 2 people start to argue. You see one thing leads to another, and you stand there and you watch someone beat a person to death. Do you not say, hey, that's enough? How about starting out? Hey, you 2 need to stop. Stop arguing. You're too old for that. Or you stand there and you watch. Then you watch the person get one blow after another. Do you not say to the person, okay, hey, that's enough. You hit him 2 times, 3 times, that's enough. Hey, he's bleeding. Hey, I hear bones cracking. Hey, but you do nothing. And you stand there and you do nothing. And you don't aid help to the person being beat up. And you don't try to stop the person that's doing the beating. Maybe when you went with the people to the house, you never thought something was going to transpire. Or you walked in and everything was kosher, and then words ensued. But you still didn't do anything when things jumped off. So you're still right there in the midst of a crime. No, I don't do emails. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary. I do believe they are guilty. But the charge is stipulating that aiding and abetting is you knew. You had knowledge thereof. Crime is going to take place. But you can also be found guilty after the fact of having knowledge thereof of a crime after the fact. Someone could come to you and tell you, hey, I killed such and such. Hey, I took something, robbed somebody. But you never reported to authorities. So you have knowledge after the fact. And I feel like you have knowledge while a crime is going on. As I state, you can go to a crime scene, but it wasn't a crime scene in the beginning. You went, like I just said, to someone's home. And then the people start arguing. And you stand there and you do nothing. But you watch. You don't walk out. You watch. And you watch it escalate. And you say nothing to the perpetrator. You say nothing to the victim. And you stand idly by and watch a perpetrator beat a person to death. So you aided nothing to either party. Stop the perpetrator or aid, intervene for the victim. How could you be deemed a decent person? Stand and watch a person beat a person to death. So it's the same thing. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion about both storylines. And as I state, Mr. Crump, Mr. Ben Crump, who has represented the Floyd family, the Wright family, he is now taking on this case in Knoxville, Tennessee, pertaining to Mr. Thompson. Slow rolling this early morning. Crystal, would you like to give an opinion? Night Owl, one of you guys? If not, I will check out of here. But I wanted to discuss this briefly. This is the latest update pertaining to the young boy shot in the bathroom at a local high school. And Court TV has done a video pertaining to the ex-Minneapolis cops. Are they guilty of aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd? Yes, thank you all for joining me so early in the morning. Thank you so kindly. Weigh in, give your opinion. Do you think they will be found guilty when they go to court? The trial starts in August of 2021, this summer, late summer. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. You sitting up here all this time?
Hey, Miss Angela.
I'm so sorry. You know, it's not the same as when I'm working on my computer on the phone. I'm sitting here like she's
I
sitting here.
it's no
Wait,
problem.
Lord, I'm so sorry.
It's no problem.
Where have you been last night, man, when we went live?
Last night,
Well, hour or so ago, whenever.
I probably sleep.
Okay, what's going on, Miss Lady?
All right. Do I think the officers are guilty in the George Floyd case? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Associate. What do they say? Guilty by association?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that applies to them.
Okay, so
If
because
they
you know
fail that,
the charge is specific, as far as it's basically saying you have to have knowledge thereof that a crime was going to take place. He was going to murder this man.
well, the knowledge came to them when they saw the knee on his neck and didn't do nothing.
Right.
What
That's
did
what
they
I
think
said.
was gonna happen?
That's what I said. Yeah, yeah. You stood idly by. That's how I feel. You may not have known when you
Exactly.
walked up to the scene because when you got there, you didn't know what was going on. But at some point, you
Correct.
had knowledge thereof, thereafter, rather.
While you watching, I know that anybody with common sense should have known if you put any type of body weight on any part of the body
Right.
that you're not gonna be able to just jump up and move about.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, I would say they're guilty. And as far as the young man in Knoxville,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be an uphill battle.
Because.
We always like to say that we want justice, and I'm all for justice, but we
Mm-hmm.
have to understand when we make one wrong move, they can throw a whole case. The fact that they are going and sharing the narrative that the young man was abusive on that day to a
Mm-hmm.
young lady that's Caucasian and that he brought a gun.
Mixed.
Oh, well, she's mixed.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
about
her
what the
mother's
young
white.
lady.
Yeah, because you saw her mother was white. Yeah, she's mixed.
Yeah, I only saw the mother. I never heard
That's
anything
it.
about the
That's it.
father.
That's it.
Um, right there, they're gonna say it's
Hey,
justified.
Dorothy. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna justify that this is the South. If you know, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
justify that the fact that they're gonna use it and paint the picture of him as a terror. The officer was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're gonna have to go with because he's tussling. He's not surrendering, and he has a gun. They're gonna say the officers were spooked by the sound of a gun going off.
Mm-hmm. Crystal says, I
And
keep watching that video and don't see the kid's hands pull the trigger. It looks like they were wrestling with it out his pocket and it went off.
and the fact that he had it, just to have it,
Did you watch the video Night Owl?
yeah. I
Do you
watched the
think
video.
you didn't see him pull it out, did you?
No.
No. So you think it was in his pocket?
In the little hooded pouch.
Okay.
Um, the fact that he had it. Like I said last night, I think the most that they're gonna get is a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And I
A
only
settlement
said
from whom? How you gonna get a
yeah,
settlement from whom? Whom they gonna get a settlement from?
I don't know if it's gonna be the police department. I don't know if it's gonna be the school. But I know
Yeah.
Ben Crump is not on that case for free.
Yeah, I know that, but guess what? You have to. We talked about this yesterday, night before
Yeah,
last, whatever. The issue still remains, which is the biggest issue of the story. You went to the school with a gun,
right.
so one will say you went looking for trouble.
But that was my
You
main
also put your
question. I
hands
kept
and you put your hands on somebody that same day.
right. I believe that gun was for that girl.
It was for
I don't know
somebody.
why.
That's why I said I don't know who, but it was for somebody.
For him to
And I
fight
also
her
said,
that particular day and have a gun.
well, and that's why I said. So in the end, it's never going to matter why you had the gun, who the gun was for. The fact
Right.
is that you went there with the gun.
With a
Why
gun.
would you have a gun on school property? Also, the schools that fought for not having security measures intact. But in the end, I can't see who the family can sue because your child went to this schoolhouse with a gun. Two, he beat up a girl, and then the police was called because that mother had every right to call because her child was assaulted. That is her child. And
Right.
had you not put your hands on that girl, none of this would have happened. That is the very reason
No,
they went to the school. They didn't know you had a gun on them when they got
right.
there.
Exactly.
Now maybe somebody could have told, but we don't know that part yet. But all in all, just logistically speaking, the cops were there to go look for you because you put your hands on this woman's child, whether they knew you had a gun or not. And you just so happened to have a gun on you in that restroom when they were trying to pull you out of there. And I think he just didn't want to come out
Go to jail.
naturally because they want to go to jail. Two, he did have a gun on him. But see, he should have told them that, hey, I got a gun on me. That was the right thing to do. You should have told them you had a weapon.
And see, this is what I'm saying that's gonna solve the case. Them text messages
Right.
and everything that's been going on between him and this young lady. That's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
the focus of how all this got started with him and this young lady.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And what
See,
did I say? And they gonna put you on trial
mhm.
and everything about you. So I think the family should have did a little more research and knowing what exactly he had been into
Hmm.
before
Well,
just
because
getting a
everything
lawyer
about
saying
it's going to
it's
come out.
okay.
See, my thing is it's never going to go to trial because this is a red state. This city is a red city. It's a Republican
Yeah,
city, Republican state.
I agree.
And those people, and it's going to be probably mainly whites. There might be a few blacks, Hispanics mixed in, but they're not going to vote to bring a charge against an officer, plural,
Nope.
in the death of this young man. They're not going to do it. And that's
If
what's
it
always been
look,
said about officer involved shootings in the United States anyway. Rarely will a grand jury indict a cops for the death of a person
mhm,
in the line of duty.
Well, that's why I said it's gonna be blasted in an uphill battle. Cause I understand that the family wants some type of understanding, especially since he didn't shoot the cop. But we need to understand why your 15-year-old thought it was okay to be having guns.
Right. Well, the gun went off in there anyway, so that's what led the cop to shoot.
Right.
It's
But
that the
that's what I'm
gun went
saying.
off.
The
However,
family
it
needs
went
to be
off, but
prepared
it
for
went
that.
off.
All these
Hmm.
groups coming out, I understand certain groups, but
Hmm.
certain groups need to sit down and do more policing before incidents happen.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I just don't want this to be the
Going
norm.
to
Just
folks'
jump up and go
house
get a
and
lawyer
all this.
every time something
Yeah,
happens.
right. I don't want to sound cold or anything, but all this going to folks' houses, we need to stop going to folks' houses. I don't know what it is about going to folks' houses.
What are you talking about? Going to
Then
people's
you
house? What are you talking about?
then you said the group was marching to go to somebody's house.
Oh, the district attorney. They believe that's her house, Sharm Allen's house.
Mhm. But they need to sit down because that's not a way to get justice. They need to do more background on this family to
Hmm.
understand why the young man thought abuse was okay, why the young man thought a gun was okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to read you what Lynn Parker says. Where did this young man get this gun? And if it was taken out of his home, they need to be talking to his parents. Yes. Well, his mother didn't answer the phone when the girl's mother tried to reach out to her. So the mother was engaging in conversation via text with the son, with this boyfriend. I don't know exactly what was said, but I believe it was a volatile conversation. And next thing we know, the police shows up at the school. You will see this in the video. You can go to YouTube to watch the said video, and you will see the altercation with the cops inside of the restroom at the high school.
Hmm.
It's a sad situation because we're talking about young people, and more people could have been hurt because there was also another African American boy in the said restroom. And as I state, the police didn't do a clean sweep of the restroom to even know that another boy was even in there.
Right.
So they failed. The school failed miserably because one, a child got on the campus with a gun. That's first and foremost. Nobody should have been on that property with a gun except for the resource officer who happens to be the Caucasian male who was shot in that bathroom. It's a jacked up situation. Very jacked up.
And that's why I said that the family needs to go through everything the young man owned to find out what was really going on. Because the
Right.
worst thing for families to do is get these high priced lawyers, get in
Hmm.
court, and all the bones come falling out the closet. And
Well,
they don't
see,
get the
that's why I
justice they
said
think.
but you gotta get indicted first. See, you got to get an indictment
Yeah.
first before you can even have a court proceeding. They're not going to indict those cops or the cop. And I believe it's a black cop that shot him. Hell to the no.
I
There will
mean,
be there will be no indictment.
I just say you never know. It's always political season, so you know how they go.
Yeah. Well, I can speak of this city because I live here. They won't
Well,
indict the cop.
I didn't think so either. And I'm like, I hate that for the family because, nobody wants to lose their child, in such a horrible manner. But we have to start talking to the young people about how to take their aggressions out beyond hitting someone and waving a gun or
Right.
dealing with guns and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to want to know the background because jumping up with these groups going to these folks' house, y'all gotta stop going to these folks' house.
Hmm. Well,
But
they
for
did.
some reason, that's a popular thing to do. And I'm like, what do y'all get out of it? He was in the wrong. He might not have, shot the cop, but he committed a crime if he allegedly abused this young lady and bringing that gun on camera.
Hmm.
More kids could have gotten hurt if he was just so angry that day.
Yeah. Well, that's why I
With
said, boys like the Rough House. Somebody could have came up to him goofing off.
which
Could have
why I keep bringing
put his
up,
arm around his neck, goofing off. You know how boys play, rough play.
I'm gonna say it like this in the most humble way. I think if they wouldn't have, if the police wouldn't have been called to try to de-escalate and get him out that school, that
Yeah.
young lady probably possibly could have been killed on that day. Because I really
Okay,
do
right.
believe the
Because we
gun
don't
was
know,
in
like you said, we
prison.
don't know the motive behind him having a gun.
Well, he just didn't bring it to walk around school to be tough.
Well, that's why I said. That's why I asked all
That's
those questions
crazy.
early yesterday morning. I said, is he the type who's known to carry a weapon? You understand what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah,
got some young people who carry
they do.
weapons. So that's why I said, is he that guy who carries a gun around? Or did he have a reason for bringing the gun? But like I said, even in the end, that's not going to matter. It's principle. You didn't have no business with it.
And of
Period.
course, we
Whatever
know
your
they not
reasons
gonna
were.
show no dope. So,
Huh?
and I said we already know the old wait. I mean, we already know. Of course, if he was being bullied or anything like that, he
Yeah.
wasn't gonna tell no adult.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's
Right.
just
Right.
no coincidence.
Right.
So we definitely have to
Right.
talk to our young people about these guns and
Right.
um abusing other people because the good kid angle goes out the window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
condolences to the
So
family, but I mean
that's an
that's
issue too.
crazy.
Yeah. Was he bullied? Because somebody will probably ask that as well.
I mean, you could
Way
be
all
yeah.
angles. But in the end, carrying a gun to the school for whatever reason is unacceptable. Because you're a child. He's a child.
Well, yeah.
Very sad.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you at first. They said it was an
Oh,
echo.
okay. There was a
I
chirping
couldn't
noise.
hear
I
it.
don't know what that was.
I'm like, I don't hear it. It might be my earbud, but I'm gonna break down a
Oh,
chat.
okay.
All right. Talk to you later.
Well, that's a sad commentary for this live. Uh, a group organization called Black Coffee Justice went to the house that they believed to be the district attorney for Knoxville, Tennessee, Sharm Allen. The Knoxville Police Department said to the public that that was not her home. As I state, why would they confirmed that it is the district attorney's house? Naturally, that would be not a good idea to confirm that is her home for safety reasons, of course. But nonetheless, they got the information and assumed it was her house, and they went there to rally for the death of this young man, and that they want the officer who killed him and officers involved in the shooting to be arrested. But as I state, this is a red state, red city. Uh, I don't see any indictment coming forward for this shooting. I just don't, due to the fact that one, the child went to the school with a gun. He also assaulted a young lady there, and all that will be heavily weighed. And he will not be deemed somebody who was a good kid. Because the first thing they'll say is, one, why did the child have a gun? Two, why is he beating up a girl? The mother called the police once the child came home early from school. Told her mother what happened. It's a very jacked up situation. Thank you, Night Owl. Thank you all for joining me. Yes, all super chats are welcome. And if you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 is the cash app. Thank you all so much for joining me this early morning. If you want to weigh in, before I check out of here, if you want to give your opinion about the storyline of the young man shot in the bathroom at Austin East Magnet High School, a group has rallied, protest allegedly the district attorney's house, or the house they thought to be the district attorney's house in the county. There was sheriff there, police, Knoxville Police Department aided the sheriff because the jurisdiction, Hardin Valley, is in Knox County, very affluent area, very nice area, matter of fact. Um, and as I state, I can't see them verifying that that's the district attorney's house. Why would they do that? Of course they wouldn't do that. But nonetheless, they found the house, and this Night Owl has said she doesn't believe in people going to people's houses to rally, protest, because one could say it's an invasion of privacy, to go hunting down people's homes to say this or that, yay or nay. And then two, it's just dangerous for people to get verification of where a person lives. Just in the day and age of Googling, It's very dangerous that you can get public information about a person's home, address, phone number, all type of personal things about a person. It's very dangerous. And frankly, really, it's not right because people are entitled to have privacy, no matter who they are. But nonetheless, that's the current situation. Black Coffee Justice is the group that went to the said home, alleged home of the district attorney, Knoxville district attorney, and as I state, KPD is saying that it's not the home, but they went there anyway, rallying one of the rest of the officers who shot the child in the bathroom. And my second video, part of the video, is do you believe the ex-officers, Minneapolis police officers, who no longer have their jobs, are they guilty of aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder death of George Floyd? YouTube has a current video in the queue that is a court TV video. If you like to go to the said commentary for verification of that said information, I've yet to open up that video, but I decided to go ahead and bring the title to you guys. What you think? Will they be found guilty in aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd? It is murder. We can no longer keep saying death because now they've been found. Derek Chauvin's been found guilty on all 3 counts of the said counts in the indictment against him. He will receive a sentence in about 8 weeks. Thank you all for joining me. Are they guilty? Are they guilty aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd? Should they be found guilty? Or were they following orders of a seasoned cop? That is the commentary for this morning's live. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the link if you'd like to give your commentary. A lot of foolishness and nonsense has been going on in our country lately. Just a lot of volatile people, a lot of very nasty attitudes. People are very angry, malicious, no kind words, just a lot of foolishness. And we have all different age groups that have been acting out, exacting harm against fellow man, woman, child. And it's sad. It needs to stop. We as people have to find a better way to deal with our anger without lashing out and putting our hands on people, shooting people, grabbing a gun, because a gun can't solve a problem. It's only a temporary fix. And once a life has been taken, it's over with. You can't go back. Role plays over. Person is gone. God forbid if you were to be brought up on charges of murder, manslaughter, 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree. This is a terrible way to give up your freedom because you popped off. As I state, can't go back. Thank you all for joining me. Well, we will see what happens in this case of the young man shot in this high school bathroom. I will bring you an update to the said story when I get it. And I'll also bring you information pertaining to the sentencing of Derek Chauvin, which will take place in less than 2 months. And also in late summer, August of 2021, the 3 ex-officers will stand trial for aiding and abetting Derek Chauvin in the murder death of George Floyd. I'm going to go ahead and check out of here, but I thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful Monday and prosperous week. Please be safe. If you have any commentary, please post it to the community board. I look forward to hearing what you have to say, and I will continue to post informative information to the community post about said updates and any other upcoming stories or information or breaking news. I'm going to check out here since it is quite early. But I thank you all. Thank the moms who came in and joined me. Thank you, Miss Night Owl. You all have a wonderful morning. And this is every day. Wait 1 second. I think I got another guest up here. Who's this? Oh, Crystal. I didn't even see her up there coming in. You waited to the last minute. You're gonna wait till I left.
I was getting ready to message you and tell you I was up here.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do
Um,
you have to say about both storylines, ma'am?
yeah, so um, the cops definitely guilty,
Okay.
and with the boy in the bathroom, um, I'm a little bothered by it only because I didn't see him pull the trigger.
Okay.
Um,
What are you bothered by? Because you do know he had the gun, so you went and pretended to be a grown man carrying a gun.
yeah.
Yeah. Too.
So I understand that part. Like he shouldn't have had a gun, period, because he's like you said, a kid.
Okay.
However, he didn't pull the trigger. So with that being said, does that mean that I'm going to be shot if I'm carrying a gun
But you
and I
got to
don't
remember,
shoot
you're
it?
a child. But see, that's the whole point. This is not that type of situation. You're a child underage in a schoolhouse with a gun. You've also just assaulted somebody. That's the reason why they're looking for you. They don't even know you have the gun. They're looking for you because you just beat this girl up or assaulted her. You understand what I'm saying? That's their sole reason for looking for you. This is before
Right.
they know you got a gun, rope, knife, whatever. So in the struggle of them trying to get him out the restroom, I do believe that gun went off, and obviously it startled, naturally would, the officer, plural, officers. So he pulled out the gun. He shot.
Yeah, and then he went to shoot him again in his back, and that's when the officer had fell. The partner had fell on him, and he ended up shooting him.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, I don't know.
So you say you thought he was going to shoot him again, and he's already down?
Yeah, you can see that. You can see the kid already on the ground, and that right within that second that the other officer falls on his back, the cop shoots, and you see him down.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah, you got to keep watching it because I kept on trying to watch to see if I could. And you could see the gun sticking out of the kid's pocket on the left side.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. It's a sad situation.
Yes, it is. It's very sad.
And like somebody said, you have to investigate the family. Like, where did that kid get that gun from?
Well, that's what somebody in the chat said. Did he get it
Yeah.
from the house?
And maybe you never know. Maybe. Well, no, I can't say that because he beat up on the girl. But I was gonna say maybe these young men are starting to get scared. You know.
You mean
Everything that's going on, they're starting to really start protecting themselves or something.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the whole point of the story is we don't know the young man, we don't know his background, we don't know why he had the gun, but in the end, no one's going to care why he had the gun. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just not going to care. And what makes him look even worse is he beat that girl up or assaulted her. So that's going to weigh very negatively in his favor, even as a dead person.
Yeah, that's
true. With a gun, but you beat up somebody. So how am I going to sit here and think highly of you as a human? How am I going to think that you were a good kid? Because that's what that girlfriend's mother is saying. But see, people can look at her and say, well, you're contradicting yourself. You're the same one that called the police on him because he beat up your kid. So how can he be a good kid and he went to the school with a gun and he beat up your kid?
And then the other boy in the bathroom, that was his cousin.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you could hear him in the video. He says, "Yeah, you shot my cousin. Help my cousin. Please help my cousin."
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was sad.
So I wondered if he called his cousin in the restroom. when they were
Mm-hmm.
looking for him.
That's what I was thinking too, because they ended up both in the bathroom.
Shouldn't have called him in there. And you know you got this gun on you. That was not good at all. That was not.
Mm-hmm.
This is a messed up situation. Okay, well, how do you feel about the three ex-officers being guilty or not?
I'm ready to hear guilty, guilty, guilty again.
Okay. So you do believe they aided Shava?
Yes.
Lord. Okay.
Do we know if they're all going to be charged together, or are they going to be separated?
It said jointly.
Oh, good. Then we will have. We're going to hear guilty 3 times again.
Yeah, because that was the commentary I brought you the other night when I brought you information about them. That was in the information I brought in source. That they would be tried jointly.
Okay. Yep, I'm ready for it.
So you honestly think 12 members will give them the charge?
Yes. I don't have any doubts on this one.
Do you think after the verdict they may decide 1 or 2 or all will take a plea?
I think it's possible that they may all take a plea.
Okay.
They're not going to want to try to, fight it.
Okay. Well, or they could just roll the dice.
Yeah, they can.
Would you roll the dice?
Absolutely not.
You take a plea.
Absolutely yes.
After a plea, rather.
I'm taking a plea.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I am not going to fight that. If I was one of those cops with him, no, I'm not fighting that. I'm going to take a plea.
Is it because they found they're guilty is why you would take a plea?
No, not just that, but it's only obvious. I was part of it.
Mm-hmm. But what if I don't think like that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you should know at least 1 out of the 3 is not going to feel like that. 1 out of the 3 is going to be adamant they did not aid Sharper. At least 1.
No, I'm gonna take a plea.
So I wonder what would the plea offer? How many years?
4 years.
Oh wow!
I don't know.
Jeez, man.
They're not gonna get that much time. I don't think. I think it's gonna be under. I think it's gonna be like 4 years. 2 years. I think it's gonna be 4 years, maybe 6. But I don't think it's gonna be a long time. No.
You know what I think is interesting?
What?
What are they doing now? You know what I'm saying? What are they doing?
Yeah.
How are they living? Where do they stay? How are they paying bills?
They're in a safe house.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm done.
They are. They're in protective custody or something.
Yeah. Okay.
They have to be. But I don't know, because that one when that first happened, somebody had caught the what is he? He's mixed or something. The black guy.
The black guy. Mm-hmm.
Caught him at the store buying Oreo cookies.
Say what now?
Yeah, when all of this happened, and the lady, she confronted him, and he was at the store like it was nothing. He was out buying Oreo cookies.
Well, that's the whole thing about life. Things don't stop because you've been indicted or accused of a crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see it happen every day. People still are going places. They're still going to church. They're still doing this, that. Some still have their job. Think about how many people who have been accused of murdering someone and or indicted and or speculated. They still have been fortunate to still have a job to go to. Unlike these 3, they did not.
Their families are helping them, I think.
Well.
And then they probably still get some type of benefits or something from the law enforcement.
Okay.
That's
even though they've been fired.
Yep. I think
From the
so.
union, probably the union.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to Google that. That'd be good. That'd be interesting information to bring forward. How are they living? Are they entitled to any type of benefits from the union, even though
Mm-hmm.
they were fired? Very interesting. Very interesting. So you think there will be 12 members that can find them unanimously guilty?
I do believe so.
Okay.
And I believe that it's gonna be less than 4 hours.
4 hours
It's
and
not gonna take 10,
4 years
it's not
credit.
gonna take 10 hours.
So 4 hours and 4 years.
There we go. Yes.
Oh my God, you're killing me. I can't fool with you. Girl, you a hot mess.
No, really.
Foursquare and
I don't think it's
4 years
gonna
ago.
I really do not think it's gonna take 10 years. I don't think it's gonna take 10 hours.
Okay. See now, I was stunned when they went 10. Tell you the truth.
Really? I
I
thought it was gonna be longer.
no, I was hoping for just a few hours and that's it tops. 10 to me was pushing it. I just thought 10, what are y'all going over? See, I started getting nervous. Like, oh Lord,
Yeah.
they ain't come back yet. Mm,
Mm.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, because they don't have to have all those experts and all this and that in these other cases is why I don't think it's gonna take that long.
Okay, but you know what? Don't you think that they have to have something because they are being tried
Yeah.
for aiding? You got to have something to show because they got to show them their part of what they were doing and not doing, or the perception of what we think they did or didn't do. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to replay all what we already saw happen with Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, one by
From the
one, they're
beginning,
gonna be showing
from the
where they
beginning,
were at.
who said what in the store, all that's going to be replayed again.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to get an instant replay.
Mm-hmm. And then also with the boys case,
Mm-hmm.
for them to be protesting supposedly at the DA's office or whatever, I don't think that's right.
Oh, going to the DA's home, private home.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Night Owl was saying. She's kind of tired of every time you look up, people always finding people houses to go to for whatever reason. Tell me why you feel like they shouldn't be at her
Well,
home.
first of all, we don't have all of the information. And that's just going to cause more problems if that DA feels like they're being threatened and has a gun. Do you not think that they're going to use it?
Okay.
I just think it's doing more harm than good.
So you say that the DA would use her guns? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if I was the DA and I was the 100 people in front of my house chanting and whatever, and possibly throwing rocks or whatever at my home, yeah, I'm going to protect myself.
Honey Hush says the DA said no arrest will be made in the shooting. Well, Honey Hush, that's probably the reason why they're at her house. They at the house that they thought to be her home. For that very reason. That's a protest that they're not going to be an arrest.
Yeah,
That's
because I
why
thought I heard that.
yeah, that was said. And that's why I said there's not going to be no trial. I forgot all about that. Yeah, she said it ain't going to be no arrest. See, they already made a decision.
Yeah, it's not going to be. They're not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm. So that's why this Black Coffee Justice Group marched over, rode over, whatever, to this said location to protest outside of allegedly Sharm Allen's home. It's a very, like I said, this all could have been avoided had this child not put his hands on the girl. Like I said, whether they knew he had a gun or not, the initial reason the police were looking for him is because of the mother calling the police saying her child was assaulted by him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said you should have never stayed at the school knowing you've been going back and forth with the woman on the phone and you would still stay on the property knowing you've assaulted the girl, plus you also have a weapon on. It just made no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she said that 4 days ago. Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So obviously they've already made their decision about the case.
Mm-hmm.
That there'll be no action taken. And the district attorney is the one who brings forth all that. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Charges said person.
Mm.
So I wonder if they're going to try to take it higher.
And have it looked at more.
Overturn. No, I guess Supreme Court, I guess. Or nothing.
And have them to investigate it more.
I don't know. Do you think it should be investigated more?
Well, I just don't like the part that the boy didn't pull the trigger. That bothers me. And they shot him. I understand he shouldn't have had a gun, but that doesn't mean to shoot the kid because he has a gun.
See, but you got to remember, if the gun goes off
Mm-hmm.
in your possession, then one would say, what do you expect the cop to do? You understand?
But it went off while you're wrestling it out of my pocket. So how am I didn't pull the trigger.
But that's the thing. Do we know? But how do we know he didn't pull the trigger in his pocket?
Because because you could see his hands was nowhere near his pockets.
See, I have to watch it again.
Yeah, you have to watch it. You can see the gun and you can see the cop like I don't know how he thought he was gonna grab it, but he was grabbing it on the outside. You have to watch the video.
That's why I said he should have said something to them that he had the gun.
Now I think that it could have been avoided if he was, his hands are already up or behind him. Actually, he should have just said, "Yeah, I have a gun in my left pocket."
Yeah, he should have said that. That's just common sense. Once they came to the restroom, once they came in there and stood in front of the stall and told you why they were there, that was when you should have said, "Okay, but I need to let you know I do have a weapon in my pocket, my front, my back, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to let those people grab on me and knowing I got that damn gun in my pocket or however it was. I just wouldn't have done that because I wouldn't have been there in school with a gun in the first place.
Right. And how old was he?
I can't remember how old he was. Old enough. He's old enough to know better, honey. He wasn't 14. He's
so back there. What's the law to carry a gun? Well, still you can't. You shouldn't be carrying a gun at school.
Right. They're not allowed in schools.
Right.
They're not allowed, especially by underage minor.
Yeah.
Hey Gypsy, how you doing? Thank you. Hello, Gulf Coast. How you doing, honey?
It seems like they should tighten down on their security at that school before there's another.
Yeah, all schools, every school in the United States should have security.
Oh yeah,
that's just the bottom line. We're in a day and time where people carry weapons. It don't matter if it's a child or an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he had no business on that campus with no damn gun.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, you can argue all day why he did. The point is he didn't have no business there with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have no business there. You know, like Night Owl said, how do I know he didn't have it there for that girl? Who's to say they hadn't been arguing a day before, 2, 3? I'm mad at her. I'm gonna say, no, see, you don't know. But in the end, like I said, when the people who are important is gonna weigh it, they're not gonna care what your motive is for having the gun. They're gonna say you didn't have no business bringing it to the school. Then besides that, you've put your hands on somebody the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also see him running in there, running in the hallway. So how are you going to explain that? See, all that's on the video. Why was he running? You hear me?
Yeah.
So you knew the police were looking for you. So that shows right there, intent.
And the other boy was already in the bathroom.
Huh?
The other boy was already in the bathroom.
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, why is the victim running?
Yeah, so maybe he was trying to hurry up and meet up with his cousin in the bathroom for whatever reason.
Like what? To get rid of the gun?
Yep.
Okay, but think about this. That makes no sense. What's wrong with the front door?
Because the police was coming through the front.
Well, you know damn well that school got more than a front door too.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to remember, he was in the stairwells. He was in the stairwells. It looked like he was talking on the phone then when he sat on the steps. So who was he talking to then? Texting or reading something on the phone. I just saying I would have never stayed at the school.
I would have never took a gun.
Well, all that's what I'm saying. One thing begets another.
That's
I wouldn't have
crazy.
been there with the gun. Once the woman was texting me, I'd be like, man, I gotta get out of here because she may call the police. And see, that's another thing. We don't even know what she said in the text.
She could have threatened I'm gonna have Pookie and Ray Ray come up there.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I say, why would I even stay there?
Yep.
Knowing I could beat this girl up. I would have left. I'm sorry. That's just I don't know. I just wouldn't have stayed there. I would have stayed there.
And then so those people that are protesting want something done with the cops.
Yes. Yes. There well, don't
think it's gonna happen.
I saw that in the post in the news article. It's Black Coffee Justice is the name of the group.
I don't think that they're not gonna get what they want.
Okay, Honey has said he was 17.
He was 17.
Okay. Sometimes the police will still shoot, even if you inform them you have a gun. Yes, true. Well, that just goes back to what we said. Why you should have never been there with a gun in the first place. You wouldn't have these problems. The gun would have never went off. Two, they would have never been looking for you had you not beat the girl up. So you see, one thing begets another. The police is looking for you because you beat up the girl. Two, the gun goes off because you had the gun on you. Had you not had the gun would have never gone off. Two, the police would have been manhandling you had you not beat up the girl. Should have never put your hands on that girl. Let me say that because I'm not saying that enough. All this started with you hitting the girl, pulling out her hair, whatever else you did to her. The police would have never been at the school had you not put your hands on that girl. You should have never put his hands on her. It's just ridiculous. And it's like, what the hell could they have been fighting about? We never thought about that. What were they arguing on? She need to pull her hair out. Man, that's deep. And I don't think many women know what that's like to have their hair pulled out. If you never had your hair pulled out, that's a terrible thing to have your hair pulled out of your scalp by someone. So to me, he has issues. He had issues. Because they said the girl had scratches on her face and her hair was missing. That's what her mother said. And the mother feels bad now because she called the police. But my thing is, you didn't feel bad at the time when your daughter came home and told you what this boy did to your child. Naturally, you have a heart. You feel bad because he's dead. I get that. But in the beginning, your focus was your child because somebody has harmed your child. And that's what a parent is supposed to feel. Hey, I want something done to this person that put their hands on my baby. If she called the cops and they were talking back and forth by text message, they probably were arguing. He probably cursed her out and made the mother angry, which caused her to call the police. Okay, Queen, I need to get some coffee going. I missed a beautiful evening falling asleep. Okay, Gypsy. Yeah, well, see, like I said, it's normal for that woman to call the police. That's her child. Anybody who care about their child gonna call. They find out somebody that hit their child. That's just common sense. I don't give a damn who it is. Child grown up. Put the hands on your baby, you want something done. You're not thinking that somebody will end up dead because you called the police. You're trying to protect your child. And that's why I said he didn't care about nobody that day. That's obvious. And that's just how I look at it. Because you hit this girl and pulled her hair out, did God know what, God knows what else. And like somebody said before, how do we know how long this has been going on between she and that boy? We do not have
Mhm.
that other day. So see, he could have been beating that girl up. Now, on the day you have an altercation with this girl in school, you also have a weapon out, which is making the situation a whole lot worse.
Mhm.
Now, who's to say he couldn't have pulled a gun out on her then? Hey, I'll
Mhm.
shoot you. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, we don't know. Because now he's dead. We don't know what he
Mhm.
said, he say to her, what he threatened her with, why he had the gun there that day. But like Matt, I said, it just looks bad that you just so happen to have a gun the same day you had an altercation with the girl at the school.
Mhm.
Instead, arguing with this woman on the phone, you should have been taking your tail, sliding your tail up out them front doors, back doors, side doors, get out of there. But he did. They say he's 17. It's just a sad situation. Hey, how you doing, Gulf Coast? Just a sad situation all the way around. Because it's sad to have to bury a child. It's sad for somebody to be putting their hands on your child. But that's what happens in this world. One thing begets another. You do something, you would get a response. You say something, you could get a response. Negative. Either way. And
Mhm.
sometimes you can't go back, you know. And like I said, this whole situation could have been avoided if one, he had never put his hands on that girl and never had that gun at that school. I mean,
Mhm.
he did this to himself because there's no way he should have been walking through the school. And like I said, the school is to blame for having poor protocol. I think his parents need to be looked at as well because we need to find out where he got the gun from. Is he known for carrying a gun? I mean, who's to say? Is he gang related, gang affiliated? We never talked about nothing. That's something extra too.
Mhm.
Then some could say, well, was he bullied? That's why he had a gun. So we don't know. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, it doesn't matter. You have no right carrying a gun to the school. You're not a licensed carrier. You're not above the age to carry a weapon. So he just didn't have any business there with this gun. Just a stick situation. But I will bring you all an update pertaining to the storyline and any more information I get pertaining to the sentencing of Derek Chauvin and any more information pertaining to the three ex-cops who will be facing trial in the death murder of George Floyd in August of this year. And then any updates pertaining to this story of the young man killed in a restroom at Austin East Magnet High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. I will bring you an update to that. Thank you, my moms, for joining me. Thank you all late coming in. I'm going to check out here because it is late. But you all have a wonderful Monday and a prosperous week. And I will be back later on in the week with another upload or live stream. Thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App and or Super Chats are welcome during all lives. Thank you all so much for joining me. Oh, thank you so much, Gulf Coast. All cops and George Floyd had a total disregard for human life. Yes, yes, I believe that. I do believe that. I do. Thank you all again for joining me. You all have a safe week, and I will be back. Thank you, Crystal, for joining me. And thank you, Miss Night Owl. This is Everyday Shenanigans.